Bowfinger is a 1999 American satirical buddy comedy film, directed by Frank Oz. The film depicts a down-and-out filmmaker in Hollywood attempting to make a film on a small budget with a star who does not know that he's actually in the movie. It was written by Steve Martin, who also stars alongside Eddie Murphy in two roles, and Heather Graham as an ambitious would-be starlet. Bowfinger was released in the United States on August 13, 1999, to largely positive reviews, and grossed $98 million at the box office. The film is considered by many as one of Eddie Murphy's best and most unappreciated films. The film was produced by Brian Grazier's company Imagine Entertainment in conjunction with Universal Studios. The working title for the film was Bowfinger's Big Thing. Martin originally wrote the role of Kit Ramsey with an actor such as Keanu Reeves in mind, but producer Brian Grazier suggested Eddie Murphy instead, and Martin approved. The film costs amounted to $44 million. Executives at Universal wanted to cut the freeway scene because they felt it would be too expensive, but Steve Martin replied he would not cut the funniest scene in the film. With regards to the casting, Heather Graham described Daisy in an interview with CNN's Entertainment News. It's about these losers in Hollywood who want to make a movie, and I'm this naive, innocent girl who wants to be an actress. I'm willing to stop at nothing. Graham stated that she has a special attachment to the role she chooses, and explained, I think it's kind of like you fall in love with the person, like you fall in love with the script. The character of Daisy was inspired by actress Anne Heche, whom writer Steve Martin was dating at the time. The cast includes Steve Martin as Robert Bobby K. Bowfinger, a B-movie film producer / director, who has been saving up to direct a movie since he was 10 years old. Eddie Murphy as Kit Ramsey, a pompous, neurotic and paranoid actor who's a huge star within Hollywood. Murphy also plays Kit's younger brother, Jefferson Jeff Ramsey, an unassuming, amiable and very naive production assistant. Heather Graham as Daisy, a young woman from a small town who dreams of making it big in Hollywood. Christine Baranski as Carol, a method actor who has worked with Bowfinger countless times before and is looking to make her big break in Hollywood, even though she's been acting for years. Terrence Stamp as Terry Stricker, the head of the cult organization Mindhead. Robert Downey Jr. as Jerry Renfro, a famous film producer. And Jamie Kennedy as Dave, a camera operator with access to studio-owned equipment. Now, for me, this is one of those films that never ever dates. It really is a comedy classic from start to finish, and one of Eddie Murphy's most understated, yet one of my favorite roles that he's ever played. Here, Eddie Murphy plays, firstly, the arrogant, over-the-top, atypical Hollywood star with some major neurotic and paranoia issues, who is preyed upon by a cult-like organization known as Mindhead. And then on the other side, Eddie Murphy now plays Kit's younger brother, namely Jeff, a nerdy, unassuming, amiable and naive, but he plays this superbly as is a complete opposite of the over-top Kit. Now, Eddie Murphy is most famous for playing multiple characters within his films, but this one, I just found he really taps into his acting ability so well. Murphy has even said, I love Bowfinger, that's a real funny one. It was mostly on page. I don't remember doing a lot of improvising. I kind of played what he wanted to play. It was all about Steve Martin's creation. And here for me, Murphy is at his comedic best. Steve Martin is also excellent here as Bowfinger, the shady low-level producer / director who has fundamentally a good heart but will go to extreme lengths to get his movie made. Being ruthless, delusional and hell-bent on turning lemons into lemonade, Steve Martin takes a gentle but funny aim at Hollywood. Heather Graham here is great as Daisy, the atypical small-town girl coming to Hollywood to be a star, who realizes early on the old cliché in Hollywood as that you need to sleep your way to the top, and she plays off all the silly men against each other as she climbs the ladder slowly but surely. Christine Baranski turns in another delightful performance here as the method actor Carol, who's so engrossed in her art she doesn't realize Bowfinger is really lying to her the whole time. There's also some lovely cameos here from Robert Downey Jr., Terrence Stamp and of course Jamie Kennedy, all adds to the fun of the movie. This is a witty commentary on modern filmmaking where everything just seems to work so well. It's one of those films you can watch over and over again and still enjoy it every time. From the famous freeway crossing scene to the dog in high heels scene, there are just so many laughs that this film always continues to make you feel good and smile. Bowfinger could have just been viewed as an out-there, over-the-top spoof about Hollywood films, celebrities, and even the Church of Scientology, but Martin has written a sweet story about a group of outsiders with impossible dreams that will stop at nothing to live up to their ambitions. The film tackles the idea of cult of celebrity, as well as the stupid action film genre, as well as Hollywood's ageism issues, and even the industry in LA movie culture and the brain-dead blockbuster film franchise. Murphy also plays a kind of spoof of himself as the paranoid, over-top movie star, something that he's battled with in his own career. Kidding his own legendary paranoia, invoking his own real-life sex scandal, and allowing himself to be the butt of Martin's extended gag. Even the dig at producers, as Downey Jr. makes a remark about he'd rather have his car than his kids in the upcoming divorce with his wife. It's just so cynical, but yet so introspective of how calculating and callous Hollywood can be at times. In the same breath, this is a film that never takes itself too seriously. At the end of the day, this is a comedy, and really, it's just about having fun, and the actors really seem to get the best out of each other. As you can see, the rapport between Steve Martin and Eddie Murphy really sort of jumps off the screen. I did find it, however, fascinating how Steve Martin has a sort of dig here, if you will, at the Church of Scientology through this fictional organization, namely Minehead. Their slogan even is "Truth Through Strength," and it definitely comes across as a thinly veiled parody of Scientology. Overall, like I said, this is a comedy classic. Steve Martin is fantastic. His writing is on point, with nice subtle digs at the way Hollywood runs, and he really does tap into the fantastic abilities of Eddie Murphy in this fantastic film. It's one of those films, like I said, I can watch time and time again, and I always thoroughly enjoy it. Bowfinger gets a 9 out of 10.